Welcome to Friday Night Party Line for August 19th, 2016. Here on the show tonight, we've got Skojo. Hey, Skojo.
Hey.
How's it going?
Recovering from a head cold.
Oh,
okay.
that's nasty. Well, I'm glad you can be here with us. We've got Churba. Hey, Churba.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, dealing with the heat that's been coming in here. How's Australian winter treating you?
It is okay.
Yeah.
It is cold, but I get to wear my leather jacket sometimes, so I will deal with it.
Dog getting some good running in?
Yes, she is. The dog is still running around like a maniac. She gets exercise daily because she is small but energetic.
And somebody must have pressed X because we have Jason. Hey, Jason.
Hey, everybody. My beard isn't quite as bushy as Churba's because it's still summer here.
It is.
I was actually clean shaven the last time we recorded a show.
Yeah. How's things over at ATW9K treating you?
We're doing okay. We've done a lot of movie nights lately because, vacations, summer stuff going on. So if you want to listen to some interesting takes on some weird, dumb movies, that's the place to be.
Indeed it is. The wonderful folks at ATW9K are nothing if not capable of producing hours upon hours of wonderful content. Check them out at, hey, Turbo, what's that URL again?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be mamath.storeenvy.com. No, that will be syndicated.com/shows/ATW9K or facebook.com/ATW9K if you want to go to a website where people actually go.
Yep. So we've had a couple of weeks of no shows.
Those are all true things.
Those are all true things. We've had a couple of weeks of no shows here on Friday Night Party Line at Acceptable Vices, mostly because I was hideously behind on my work, and I finally managed to catch up. But we're ready to fall right into it with, for a change, a lovely lack of politics stuff, though we may spoil that at the end. First things first. We're going to dip into a tried-and-true topic for us, autonomous vehicles, but for a change it's not going to be about Tesla. We're going to be talking about little driverless minibuses. In Helsinki, they're going to start having some, driverless minibuses. They're basically trains on roads. Very strange. Trevor, I think these are the most adorable little buses I've ever seen in my life.
They certainly have their charm, that's for sure.
They definitely kind of look in that way where if I was killed by one, I'd be embarrassed.
Well, considering they only go, 4 miles an hour or something like that?
They top out at 6.
6 miles an hour. If you can't avoid that, well, maybe you were playing too much Pokemon Go. I don't know.
Yeah, looking down at my cell phone, you can't underestimate.
I think these little guys. I
don't care what you say. Even at 6 miles an hour, they're still death traps.
In what way, Jason? In what way is something that goes slower than a frisbee a
It's
death
the
trap?
rise of the machines, Victor. Haven't you seen Terminator 2? Don't you know what this leads to?
Yeah,
This is Cyberdyne Systems all over again. I, for one, am not ready to embrace our robot overlords.
Yeah, they may move only 6 miles an hour, but they don't need to stop. And you do.
Didn't you see the incredible espionage documentary Austin Powers,
It's
where
not
that
so
one
much
guy was killed by an incredibly
worries me, it's the
slow-moving
machine.
vehicle?
Hold on, one at a time. Churba?
Didn't you see the espionage documentary Austin Powers, where that one fellow was unfortunately killed in a horrific accident with a slow-moving vehicle?
Yes? What was it? It wasn't a Zamboni. That was Deadpool.
No, Jesus! If you ran over someone with a Zamboni, that'd be soup.
What was it? Was it a steamroller? Was that what it was?
A steamroller.
Ah.
That was also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That was legitimately horrific. It was not played for laughs. That was crazy. But if these
I'm just
things,
going to put it out there that I've got about a 6-second delay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, which is hilarious because I'm not the one in Australia.
Well, you
That's-
are in Ohio.
Yeah, I would say that we hold our internets together here with maple syrup, but that's clearly Canada.
Whoa! That was a solid 5 seconds. Holy crap!
I'm not joking. No.
What kind of torrents are you downloading there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6.
Nah, I'm just fucking with
Okay.
you. No, there really is a delay, though.
Yeah, I figured when you and Churba started talking at the same time that the delay was going to be there. I guess someone could fix that in post, right, Victor?
You have no idea how much delay I cut out of the show when I edit. But at any rate, these little minibuses, if they started appearing in your neck of the hood. Hold on, I can do this. I can speak. If these minibuses started appearing in your neck of the woods, assuming you have much need for public transit, would you even bother with them? I mean, they don't move particularly fast, and they don't have particularly much capacity.
Well, probably not. No, because getting, like, say I wanted to get from here into town, or even from here to the nearest university, getting from here to the nearest university at 6 miles an hour would take me about 45 minutes.
I really don't think they're supposed to be for like long distance travel. I think it's more of like you're in DC, like going between like different places. You know,
That's
that
not
type
even-
of travel.
That's not even long distance. That's like, by car, I could get there in like 2 minutes.
No, I know, but you're just trying to like get there, like 6 minutes. You know, like you only need to be. It's only not real far. You know what I mean? Like you're not.
Yeah.
Everything's just way too far apart here for them to be viable as public transport. But I could see public institutions like some of those universities
Yeah.
picking them up and using them at places like the UQ campus in town. At least I think it's UQ. But because that campus is huge. It takes a lot of walking to get around from building to building on that campus. So
yeah.
stick one of those in there, get from the Sports Science building over to the Chanel Theatre. Yeah, that's much better.
University transportation system seems like the perfect
Yeah.
use for something like that.
Seems like the go-to for it. But I mean, and particularly, I mean, my alma mater, the campus is literally as big as Disneyland. Actually, it's bigger. Actually, with the new buildings they added, it's now bigger than Disneyland. Getting from one part of campus to the other, you basically had to be on some kind of wheels, either a bike or a skateboard.
I thought you were about to say some kind of drugs.
Oh, that too.
Well,
Well, it is UCLA, I guess.
that's UCLA. We were much more. Well, no.
Full of drugs.
I'm not gonna even pretend that my alma mater didn't have drug problems, but yeah, no, I mean I don't really see this as an application inside of even a major metropolitan area, because presumably a metro area would have some. Okay, Jason was booted. Oh well. Jason says, "Thanks, gents. It was good talking to you from the moon." Oh well. But yeah, even a major metro area would presumably already have infrastructure in place for like a subway system or some sort of serviceable bus system or a light rail around the place. And even then, I mean, I think a lot of people would have bikes if they're interested in some sort of alternate transportation. I think these sort of things would really be good for big private campuses like universities or, theme parks.
Yeah, theme parks would be a good application for it. Fucking stick a pair of Mickey Mouse ears on it. Fucking put a dumb voice in there. Hi kids.
Assuming you don't have a monorail.
Actually, I'm pretty sure they shut down the monorail at Disney because people kept fucking in it.
Oh.
Oh. Ugh. Oh.
I think
I mean, did
last
not
time I
many
was there,
people
they had
use
some
it?
kind of. Last time I was there, they had some kind of train system there, but like, yeah, they at one of the Disneylands, they definitely shut down the monorail system because people kept fucking in it.
Huh.
Because they were
Cool.
very small, like pod-like carriages that only held like 2 or 3 people, so people would wait and get in there with only 2 people, and then just screw as they got fucking whizzed around Disneyland by magnetic
Oh.
force.
Nice.
You make an enclosed space, people will find some way to fuck in it.
Same reason I don't drink water. There's fish fucking it.
Okay. I had no idea where you were going with that, but all right.
Not sure I did either.
Making it up as you go along, Cherbs?
Story of my life.
Oh.
I mean, it's just, this is just like technology that will get better with time, and then they'll have faster and faster buses, and then they'll start taking over.
I mean, I think the biggest benefit that could come out of this is that since it's being, run by, it's a technology that's being developed by a university, by university research. At the very least, the data it collects on how it interacts with people will be able to lend itself to building the database of, how autonomous vehicles should act with people.
Don't run them over.
Yeah.
Don't run them over. Don't run them over at 6 miles an hour while they're playing Pokemon Go.
Don't shove your passengers under semi-trailers. Elon Musk, please take note.
Oh, come on. That was kind of. I mean, you look at how that tractor trailer looked to the Tesla. You can kind of understand why it happened.
Oh, I can understand why it happened. It's just that why it happened is still an engineering failure that they should have seen coming, and they didn't.
Well, they do say it's in beta, and to keep your hands on the wheel.
Hey, if it's in beta and your product can fucking kill someone, maybe don't release it to the general public.
Maybe. All right, I think we've, for lack of an engine, I think we've exhausted that topic. Gonna move along here. Churba, tell me what's going on with Gawker? How's that going?
Seems fine to me. I'm looking at Jalopnik right now, and nothing much going on. Same old Jalopnik.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing. A little bit of getting you a little bit bugged about how things are going with it. Maybe something to do with
really.
a lawsuit with. Nothing to do with a lawsuit with a wrestler? Nothing?
No, which wrestler? I don't really follow wrestling.
Oh, okay then. Well, so we're going to give a little bit of a eulogy for a car that... No, we're talking about this. Helpful as always, Churba. Helpful as always.
Object to calling him a wrestler. He is, in fact, now a famous racist.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Who had to have, if memory recalls, a giant keyboard made for him for his sausage fingers.
That I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Really?
No.
He had the same problem with normal computer keyboards that, fat-fingered people normally have with phone keyboards.
Huh.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't really have hands so much as paws.
He doesn't really have hands.
He's got paws, more like it. He's like, so Gawker.
Wait, that was like 3 wrong wrestlers in one.
So Gawker.com is going to be shut down next week. They had that lawsuit against Terry...
Bollea.
What?
Bollea.
Terry Bollea. And they lost, and they appealed it, and the judge said no.
No, that's not how appeals work.
Okay, elucidate me here.
What they have to do from memory, so I might get one or two details wrong, is when the trial's finished, they appeal to the judge, and the judge says no, and then issues a written decision, and then from that written decision, they can then launch a formal appeal, which is actually taking it back to court and changing the decision.
Mhm.
Well, if the decision merits changing. Which it almost certainly will, because it's going to appellate court judges rather than a jury, and it was a bit of a shambles of a trial. So,
Yeah.
like, for example, a lot of evidence was barred from the court, even though it had no reason to be barred from the court. Like, for example, the evidence that Hulk Hogan was lying under oath when he was testifying about the tapes and not knowing of their existence, and not knowing about the existence of a second tape where he says even more racist, horrible things.
Great. Keep destroying my childhood, guys. Keep destroying. Well, I should say
And then,
Hulk Hogan keep destroying my childhood.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing, but as far as I'm concerned, I think Terry Bollea is no longer worthy of the Hulk Hogan name.
It's true.
Because Hulk Hogan was a lot more thick-skinned than Terry Bollea, and he's not worthy of the mantle, shall we say?
He's been using that dodge of like, oh, Terry Bollea and Hulk Hogan are different people.
No.
For fucking years now.
No, they are not two different people because as of yet nobody has taken up the Hulk Hogan name. Not worthy, but
I
still the
remember
same.
at one point him trying to defend himself by saying, no, Hulk Hogan was strong because he went to sleep at the right time and said his prayers and took vitamins. It was Terry Bollea who got strong by taking steroids. And he's like, no, fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck him. Goodness
Anyway,
gracious.
Yeah, Hogan
Anyways,
was also funded by notorious far-right crazy person, racist, and gay man Peter Thiel, who had a bone to pick with Gawker for reporting on him fucking his hedge fund completely.
Yeah.
and reporting on his gayness.
Yeah, but he was already out by that point, so...
I thought they outed him.
No, they did not.
Yeah, I thought
They
that was
absolutely did not.
Okay.
Got it wrong.
Well, yeah, and so Peter Thiel funded Terry Bollea's lawsuit, and now Gawker was ordered to make payable basically the what was it? The how much money was
I believe it was 125 or
40
135 million.
Yeah, 140 million awarded to Terry Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan, who sued Gawker alleging invasion of privacy. So they were awarded to them, and they were ordered that they had to make it available. So Gawker Media went to bankruptcy court,
Yes.
wherein Univision decided to buy them. Rather they put a bid.
Well, they've pretty much bought them now.
Yeah. So they're out there. They're well, we found out why Jason's bandwidth was so bad.
Why was that?
I'll copy the message. I don't know if he wants me to share this.
Really doesn't?
Yeah. So Univision has bought Gawker, but apparently they don't really care about the Gawker brand because they're letting Gawker go away, and they're gonna keep Kotaku and Gizmodo and all the other Gawker stuff except Gawker. So that's unfortunate.
I was talking to a friend of mine who works pretty exclusively in business reporting and startups and all that sort of shit. And what he reckons is actually that it's a tactical closure rather than a necessary closure.
Really?
Yeah. Basically what they're doing is they're taking Gawker, because Gawker is the target of all these lawsuits and shit like that. They're shuffling all of their losses and debts and all the other fucking deadwood and other crap in there, turning it into a toxic asset, and then just cutting it loose as a legally separate entity and shutting it down.
Clever.
Yeah.
I like it.
Which means that the sites that remain, that used to be under the Gawker brand, they're now free and clear. They don't have to worry about all this shit. It means that Hulk Hogan, and more importantly, fucking rich, revenge-seeking weirdo, Peter Thiel, sorry, Peter Thiel, not Thiel, Thiel. I'm trying to correct that mistake.
Like the color.
Yes. It turns out that they don't get a red cent out of it because there's no cents left for them to get.
Womp womp.
It's also as a purely personal thing, well, not for me, I mean for them, it's also a giant middle finger to Peter Thiel that then shoots up into the sky and explodes into 1,000 hands, flipping him off and going, hey, how's this for revenge, you fuckface?
It's a fuck you firework.
Because while Gawker, the brand, or the branded site, shuts down, all of the Gawker operations that was going concerns that he also wanted to shut down, because he wanted to slash and burn the whole thing. Yeah, all of those other brands staying alive, staying going, keeping on, and he can't legally touch them because they're a separate entity to the Gawker that wronged him, which is now a toxic asset and shut down.
So do you think this case is gonna continue on through the appellate courts and stuff, or do you think once Univision does it's sort of a moot point, or rather it's moot?
It'll almost certainly continue with the Hogan case in the appellate court, but I think they'll just let all of the other ones lapse because, I mean, fucking, what are you going to do, man?
Right.
It's not like they're going to be able to get anything out of the shut-down Gawker brand.
Yeah.
And it's not like they'll be able to continue and, like, try and hit them with another lawsuit after they've shut down, because that will have passed and there'll be nothing to take from it.
So, now, here's the question for media types like you and me: is this going to? One of the big concerns going on when this case came up and when it was being decided and stuff would this have the chilling effect on the media now that you have billionaires that can bankroll these spurious lawsuits against media companies? Is it going to have a chilling effect on what media companies are going to feel comfortable reporting? Well, now that it's sort of gone, it's sort of done and, for all intents and purposes finished, with the Gawker brand taking the tank on this, but without any appreciable difference actually made on either side, is it still going to have that chilling effect?
Yes and no, because, I mean, what it's going to do is a lot of publications are going to go, not, oh, we can't publish this, but, oh, let's be careful and put ourselves in a position where they're simply not going to win those lawsuits. But, unfortunately, it does also set a precedent of fucking rich assholes just trying to slap suit any fucking media outlet they don't like out of existence.
Well, I mean, that on that side, that precedent was set the moment Peter Thiel engaged the lawsuit to begin with, because all it had to do was give other rich folks with boogeymen in their closet the idea that, oh, well, if this ever comes out, I'll just sue the ever-loving crap out of, whoever releases it.
Yeah, the success is what kind of locks it in stone, though, because this isn't the first time it's been tried, it's the first time it's succeeded. Because if you'll remember Frank Vandersloot, he actually tried to do it to Mother Jones, got caught, and then failed. Because the judge basically went, no, stop that, you're not allowed to do that again.
Well, it's a shame that it happened. Gawker, and let's be honest, it was not the most reputable of media outlets. Had its good parts, but now most of the good parts are going to be under the umbrella of Univision, which is much bigger and has a lot more lawyers. So
my question is, what happens to all the Gawker articles? Like, are they just going to disappear, or?
Don't know. Nobody so far has been clear about what what happens with that, where it goes, whether Univision will continue hosting it or whether it'll all go away with the set things. Because, I mean, Valleywag, after it shut down, not in a similar fashion because of the corporate switching around, but after that blog was shut down by Gawker and it was all reshuffled into a different brand, they still kept all that content around. All the Valleywag content still exists.
Yeah.
Probably much to Peter Thiel's fucking annoyance, considering how often they reported on him crashing his hedge fund into the ground by buying into far right-wing Chicken Little bullshit.
I was going to say my favorite article that I can remember from Gawker was the one about the person trying to, or was that Gawker or was that one of the sister sites where they tried to, the writer was trying to see if Fridays would do the unlimited appetizers, if it actually would work, and he just kept eating mozzarella sticks, and it's like this great play-by-play of him sitting there all day getting his unlimited appetizers.
Oh god, I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, and they're just like not that great to begin with. So.
Oh, should have picked a different appetizer.
Yeah, I know, right? The mod sticks? Like, pick something good.
The mozzarella sticks are just greasy and they're dense. All it's gonna leave you with is a little condensed ball of hate in your stomach.
Oh, and later, even worse.
I'm a journalist. I have one of those anyway.
All right. Let's see here. We've got a couple more topics, but let's talk a little bit about those Donald Trump statues that have been popping up all across the U.S.
Not very far.
But not very far. Those things. So what it is that all over the U.S. and most of the major metropolitan areas, these larger-than-life Trump statues suddenly appeared. And they were put up by this group called this anarchist collective called In Decline, one word. They're responsible for it, and they're calling the project "The Emperor Has No Balls." It's just if you are unaware with fairy tales and parables and such, it's a play on the old story "The Emperor's New Clothes," wherein a similarly narcissistic emperor gets conned into taking a walk outside, believing he's wearing invisible clothes, or rather clothes that only the most the most worthy or most capable people can see. Basically, he was tricked into walking outside naked. And it's called the Emperor. He's got no clothes. This one, the Emperor has no balls, and it is, quite frankly, they're horrific.
It's kind of creepy.
It is so weird looking. It's like, ugh. But they're there, and they're art of sorts. And it led to one of the best tweets, the best quotes ever put out there by a public official. He says, Josh, let's see, the New York City Parks Department stated, New York City Park stands firmly against any unpermitted erection in city parks, no matter how small.
Oh yeah, that was pretty great.
Which was kind of amazing. But they're already starting to be taken down by the various,
Can't imagine why.
Right? They're just horrific. And they got like the veins and everything too. It's just so.
I didn't look that closely.
I didn't look that close either.
Well, there are close-up There are pictures of it on the Verge article I saw it in, and there's like a big ass blue vein going down the Trump statue's neck, and oh god, it's just disgusting. it's disgusting, but almost you don't want to look away. It's like one of those horrible, horrible things.
Maybe
Train
you don't
wreck.
want to look away.
It's just like, and yet there are people in there posing with it. And
Well, I
taking
mean, if I saw it
pictures.
in, you see it personally, you're just like, hey, this is pretty crazy.
It
Gotta
is
take a picture, put it on the Facebooks.
Now, my question is, has the Trump campaign commented on this?
Oh, I was about to ask you if you had read anything because I had not.
Cursory Twitter look.
I assume some
Real
surrogate
Donald
would have had to have said something by now.
Let's see here. 3 hours ago, 12 hours ago. We'll make America great again. Crooked Hillary. Nothing about it. Not a one. Nothing.
Not unexpected.
Who has wrapped up Trump's fingers in duct tape that he's not tweeting about this furiously?
Well, he has a new campaign manager.
Oh, yeah, he does, but we're not gonna get too into that.
Well, no, I'm just saying,
Fired
like,
Paul Manafort for being a fucking cat's paw of Putin, despite the fact that they previously claimed that Mr. Manafort had never met or known Putin or ever worked for him, until photos came out of him sitting next to Putin at a state dinner and chatting with him.
Yeah.
Okay, are we doing this? Are we getting into politics?
Am I giving you a choice?
That's more. Isn't that kind of? That's not. I mean, that's not totally politics. That's foreign.
Foreign relations.
Foreign relations. Yeah.
Is that how you're gonna justify it to yourself, Scojo?
Yes.
So feel better. All right, well, let it never be said. I'm not gonna enable you for the sake of good content. Okay, Scojo, tell me. How has Trump's campaign infrastructure been going? Do tell.
Well, when you're, it's when you're campaign manager and what was it, campaign strategist? He had like 2 titles. Happens to be found to be taking money off the books from a pro-Russian group when he was working in Ukraine, and he didn't decide to report it anywhere. That, especially when there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about how Russia is screwing with the U.S. elections. I can't imagine why he may have resigned.
Yeah. I mean, to say nothing of the fact that there was a complete reshuffling of the campaign organization.
God, and we're not even talking. I didn't even bring up the fact who replaced him. Oh my God!
Pray tell, Scojo, who did replace him?
Oh God, I don't know his name, but he's the CEO of Breitbart News.
Breitbart? Well, what are they about?
Oh, they're a well-respected news agency, right?
Really?
Absolutely.
Like, you should get all your news from them. They are if you think Fox News is the most trusted news source, then Breitbart should be where you should go next because I mean, they're really on par.
Really?
Oh yeah, totally. Totally.
All on the up and up there, huh?
Yeah, pretty much Breitbart News, which is what the link that's going to come from my dad in an email forwarded by 20 people is probably going to come from that site. If it's not InfoWars, it is then Breitbart News.
Oh, what? No Prison Planet? Man.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. Yeah, well, if it's really racist, then it comes out to be Prison Planet.
No, Breitbart is horrible. It's completely terrible. It is not news. It is 100% spin. That is, I think that's a fair assessment of the website there. 100% spin.
What I found was really fascinating was the people that suddenly said, with grabbing these people, it's almost like Trump is trying to put together a new far-right news source after the election that he can be the head of, like Trump News, And
Why would he do that? He's already got Breitbart news that's basically his Pravda.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I think but Breitbart doesn't have a cable news network, and that is what I think they might try to shoot for.
Oh, boy.
I say that because there's this really great like little conversation on Fox News that's online where the one guy who's running the conversation, he's like, it's almost like they're trying to make a cable news show after the thing, and then he's like, oh, my producer's telling me I need to go to a commercial now. You're just like, what?
Wait, what?
He didn't get taken out or anything. He's just like, change the subject. Go to something else.
Well, because he didn't get taken out, he'd only get taken out if he was speaking out against Hillary.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of a crazy theory that's going around that they were trying to say like, well, he doesn't really want to win. He just wants to get that 30% of people that will vote for him regardless of what he says. If he can just like milk them for everything that they're worth, and then start your news channel where you're like, well, look at me, I was a truth teller in the election, and then bank that into a nice little cushy like news job where he can be the center of attention. It would be perfect.
Where he can finally satisfy his unquenchable narcissism.
I mean, it makes sense. But then again, I also heard that he pivoted last night, and now he's serious. And I think the quote was, what was the quote? I will get 95% of the black vote in 2020.
Oh, good Lord. I heard that one this morning.
Oh, wait, and then
go on.
Keep going. You can go.
Go ahead.
Looking at the most recent polls, I'd say it is actually true. He has pivoted into the fucking ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here's what he said about, he's like, you're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose by voting for me?
Wait. Did he actually say that?
Yes, he did actually say that.
That's not like an Onion article. He actually said that?
Well, he's tried. The point of the argument. That's the end of a discussion where he's trying to say that the Democrats have caused that.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I mean, this is the same. What he's going off of is the same stuff I get from my dad all the time. He sends me a picture of Detroit, probably comparing it to some place that was nuked, and then says like, "Hey, see, when was the last time a Republican ran Detroit?" And see, they ran it into the ground. Like, not even. When was the last
time a bloodletter ran a surgical board?
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those arguments where it doesn't really tape the full picture. It's just, it's the exact people that you would expect to be supporting Trump at this point. That kind of argument works for him. Like that argument he's making isn't even to get like African American people to support him. It's really just to get the low information, like white people that are afraid to maybe come off as racist to support him. Like, be like, oh yeah, he's actually trying to help.
Come off as racist. I think they're afraid of being accused of being racist.
Well, yes, yeah. Well, okay.
What I'd like to see is for Trump to punch someone. Just once. Once.
Anyone in particular? Does he take requests?
What would be the most damaging? Probably if he hit a dog. If he kicked a dog, like,
not worth it.
Just if he did that, I feel bad for the dog, but the video of him kicking a dog would get 24-hour playback. And that's it. He'd be branded as a monster.
Have you ever seen this
video? The
video?
problem is that punching anyone with his tiny fists would concentrate the force so much that it might detonate like a fusion bomb.
No, Scojo, that's a completely different context. I don't want him to punch someone on WrestleMania. I want him to punch someone out of anger in a public place.
To be fair, though, punching Vince McMahon is still pretty okay.
I'm okay with that.
The best thing he has done.
Probably.
However delightful the range of expressions Vince McMahon can conduct, because that man has a face made of silly putty. But I want him to do like one utterly, like, it doesn't matter if you're a racist, it doesn't matter if you're a bigot, it doesn't matter if you hate everyone. I want him to do the one thing that would just completely frame him as a monster for the rest of the election cycle.
There's only one problem with that. There's still 30% of the country that's going to fucking vote for him no matter what he does.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
he's running
Paul
as a
Ryan.
Republican.
Paul Ryan will be like, he is a despicable, horrible being, but, you know, I can work with him to get what we need. So
To no
we
longer
need to vote
kick
for him.
dogs.
Hey, look, I hate him. He tortures animals, but, you know, we need
Timothy
Republicans.
McVeigh looks at him and said he would have been a good guy.
Yeah, it'll be like, I need a Republican in the White House so that we can get our agenda. Please, don't ask me any more questions. I'm going to go in this bunker now and wait till after the election.
Where do they take old Republican speakers of the House to retire once their career is over? Do they take them to a nice farm where they can run free?
I'm pretty sure it's a golf course.
Golf course.
It's a golf course with a strong internet connection so that they can access Grindr.
Yeah.
Oh. This is just.
Anyway,
Oh.
it could be worse. At least if you ask Paul Ryan, you get a response. When reporters ask Chris Christie about what he thinks on the situation, Trump responds.
Yeah. What do you think the over/under is that the like Ryan Previs and Paul Ryan actually abandoned Trump? At what point in the election? Because at some point, like when you know you're going to lose, like they give the go ahead to the other people that are running to kind of distance themselves from the presidential candidate. So usually that happens in like late October. So do you think that it'll be like late October? You think it'll be after the first debate?
I think after the first debate would be pretty good, but I'm going to take a more conservative guess here. I'm going to say after the second debate.
I'm going to say 2 weeks from now, when Trump has appointed a half-eaten cucumber sandwich as his campaign manager because he's run out of anyone else willing to do the job.
So in the first debate, do you think the opening line will be Trump thanking the person who killed Vince Foster, like that he's debating with, or like will it be? He's just gonna like just throw a bunch of like really ham-handed bombs at Hillary the whole time, or call her Crooked Hillary the entire time they're debating. That would be great. I think it's gonna be around then. I think it'll be the first debate, a little bit before. I mean, if things continue to just blow up,
unless he pulls out of the debates, like he's been half threatening to do.
Well, I mean. Yeah, I mean, he could do. I can't imagine that he could do that and continue to be relevant. I mean, even his own when they do polls, even like it's like 80% of the people, and they're like, "Should Trump go to the debate?" They're like, "Yes." Like he should perform in the debate.
He's already hedging, as if he's preparing for a loss.
You know what has to be the worst job? The guy who has to pretend to be Trump at the during the debate prep. Like that has to be like sit there and be like, okay.
Well, I don't know. I'd have fun with it.
That's what I'm saying.
Always fun to play devil. It's always fun to play the bad guy.
Yeah, but can you even imagine how that debate prep is going? Like, okay, Hillary, when he talks about how you killed like this person. It could be this person. It could be and when you like helped your husband rape somebody or whatever, like you probably shouldn't react to that comment. Like you know what I mean? Like all the crazy crap that could be thrown at her in a debate that she would have to just keep straight faced and be like, and not just be like, I have
to imagine. Hillary Clinton would have the same sort of expression she had on her face when she had to affirm the fact that she, relied on scientific evidence about climate change?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Republicans would probably be happy if the Democrats stole a trick from their playbook and had a debate with an empty lectern,
Yeah.
because it's probably the only way that they might stand a chance of coming out positively from those debates.
Well, it'll be Gary Johnson and Hillary Clinton standing there with an empty podium next to them.
Maybe
right?
they'll just convert it into a town hall.
Actually, yeah, there's an idea. You have Gary Johnson, an empty podium, and Hillary. Hillary definitely wins the debate by default. Meanwhile, Gary Johnson loses in the debate to an empty podium.
Oh my gosh. Well, send your hate mail to Turbo.
Why has such an austere system as the American politics, one founded on rational debate and discourse, how has it devolved into such a cavalcade of madness?
I blame baby boomers.
Yeah.
Actually, I blame 18 to 30-year-olds. This election wouldn't even be close if they weren't drifting away from the. They just looked at the poll results, and like Clinton is only beating Trump by like maybe 10 points in the youth vote because all those youth 18 to 30-year-olds are going green and libertarian. And you know, we could just have this be like a 20-point win where we don't even have to worry about it. But people can't deal.
And of course, the ones who definitely aren't going to vote Hillary are like majority young white dudes who are voting for Trump, not because they're hardcore Republicans, but because they are, well, let's be honest, they're voting for Trump because they're fucking right-wingers and are busy going, no, we're the real left-wingers. Despite the fact of all of our authoritarian fascist ideas.
It's the FARC independence.
Part of this is amusing, part of this is horrifying, and just most of it's just kind of depressing.
I would like
Are
to
you
know.
sure you're not looking at a gallery of photos of me naked there, Victor?
I am 18 days not commenting on social media on politics, and I've done decently.
You
I've
have.
survived.
Not getting the shakes there?
I've
We're up to the-
no, you know what it is? George IMs me almost every day to talk about politics. Funnily enough.
Oh, he's not taking up the mantle for you?
No, he just chats with me about it, and I've been talking to Rim a lot about it. We just like chat instead of it gets out of my system.
You get your fix.
Yeah, there have been a couple times where I really wanted to comment, and I can't. And when I read it, and people say so many people are saying stupid crap, and I'm like, oh, I'm not allowed to comment. This is freeing.
You're not getting that someone's wrong on the internet.
Oh man.
Oh my.
Someone is always wrong on the internet.
Mm-hmm. All right. So one last topic, and this one is more or less just a moment of sadness on my part. So Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, car that I have loved for basically since I laid eyes on it. The Mitsubishi came out with the final edition a little while ago. Last year, and the last ones are rolling off the assembly line, and it makes me sad because one of my favorite cars, they're not being made anymore.
It's not like
It wasn't a good car.
But you never had one.
I know, but I've always wanted to get a new one.
But they're
And
never
now-
gonna. It's not like they're gonna destroy all the ones that were created.
No, you don't understand. See, when most people go buy, the type of person that goes to buy a Lancer Evo 10 is the kind of person that's going to do everything wrong with it.
Well, that's probably true.
Wait, are you the sort of person who's going to go and buy a Lancer Evo
Yes!
if you could?
But here's the thing: if I could go buy a new Lancer Evo 10, every wrong thing I do to it will be my own doing. I don't have to go spend time fixing somebody else's wrong things for me to go and do my own wrong things to it. I don't want to have to fix someone else's fuck up so I could fuck it up myself.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of uncomfortable on the interior, they were noisy on the highway, they were noisy on the road, they didn't handle as well as they really should have, they were
They
a
only
bit
had
gutless,
5 gears, you know.
but really, they weren't the worst car around. They were still
were not.
okay.
They had the Lancer Evo has an amazing rally and rallycross pedigree. It's a mean-looking little motherfucker.
So does the Mini Cooper.
Yes, so does the Mini Cooper. I'm not saying it
does the
doesn't.
Citroen 2CV.
So does the Ford Fiesta and the Ford Focus and so many other cars. Yes, I know. But but that car just looked like it was pissed off the entire time. And really, if you were a Lancer Evo 10, why wouldn't you be? You only had 5 gears.
And look on the bright. Well, I've never really been convinced that 6 gears is entirely necessary anyway. I think 90% of it's just a fucking emissions measure. But anyway, let's be honest though, like, at least it had a few feathers it could stick in its cap. Like, you know, it was a pretty well-respected rally car. It was better than a Tesla at everything but straight-line drag racing. It
beat the new Subis it beat the new Subis in a Top Gear test for Rallycross.
Yeah, but that's like saying that silk is better than linen for fucking making hoods for a clan rally. It doesn't matter. It's not something you want to exactly pin to your fucking marketing material.
I'm sorry, what? Do you have a problem with Rallycross?
No, I was thinking more Top Gear, but okay. I mean, last I recall, Rallycross hasn't had a bunch of scandals for saying and doing racist things, but...
No. I'm talking American Top Gear with Tanner Faust driving them.
Oh, okay. You really need to specify.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. American Top Gear is okay. Just like the Evo.
Yep.
American Top Gear, also better than a Tesla.
Not the best. Okay. The Evo 10 was not the best car, but it wasn't the worst
Tesla.
Not gonna drive you under a semi.
Yep. I can confidently say that an Evo has never driven me under a semi-trailer.
Oh my god.
It was also, in my opinion, it was one of the only 2 cars that could successfully pull off having an obnoxious rear wing. It was the Evo and the WRX. Those were the only 2 cars that could successfully pull off having that obnoxious rear wing.
I'm pretty sure they both came fucking stock with an obnoxious rear wing.
Yeah, and they're the only ones that looked good with it.
Actually, yeah, to be honest, I can't imagine one without one.
Yeah. It's part of the look. It looks wrong without it. So a brief goodbye to a good car. Yeah.
To an okay car.
It was a good car. Better than a Tesla. All right then. Well, thank you, Scojo, and for Jason, if you ever come back and listen to this, thank you for being on the show while you were. And
Jason's internet connection better than a Tesla.
I think I'm gonna change the name of this episode. Better than a Tesla.
Well, the show was.
Well, this episode didn't drive anybody under a semi.
Elon Musk never accused anybody of being like a saboteur, fucking because this show went wonky. So.
Well then, so that's that. You will hear from us next week on Acceptable Vices. I've got a decent show idea for next episode, but you'll have to find out what that is then. Until then, see you later.
See you.
Bye.